For 15 minutes before the RP, me and Sam were scheming so that I would become the innkeeper. And so when the raid leader called all the innkeeper candidates up to prove to him who could be the best innkeeper, I went up there and I delivered the most beautiful mini essay ever. And then I had Sam go up there so that way he could do a really bad one and it would bring out how great mine was. And this backfired and it was such an injustice. I got my role stolen by my own brother in the stupidest way possible, and I just have to show that before we get to the real RP. And this is what I wrote. I wrote, "As the innkeeper, I will cater to the needs of my customers, providing a warm hearth, delicious food, and a homely atmosphere for the people of Gilneas to enjoy." So then Sam waltzes up to the raid leader, and he tells him something like, "If you make me the innkeeper, I will give you 10 gold. And he won over a measly 10 gold. And it's so sad that the audio was lost because my reaction was priceless. I was so personally offended and Sam was just on the other computer laughing his head off. Me and Sam RP'd so he was the innkeeper and I was his beautiful waitress. And I was so inspired when I came up with her name. She was Victoria, a waitress with a dark secret. And so by the end of this RP, Victoria's secret was revealed. And so if you guys end up finishing this video, then you'll be able to brag to all your friends that yes, you know Victoria's secret, and who wouldn't want that? So then I flew over to Kiel Harbor and we took a look at our inn, which I never noticed how much weird stuff is in that inn. I mean, we have random stashes of cannonballs spread out throughout all the rooms. We've got shovels decorating every wall. We have anchors in there. We have literal cannons above the fireplace. We have some swords strapped to the counter. We've got a pistol, which probably isn't the best thing to put in front of a bunch of drunk men. So, oh, and we can't forget the human skulls littering the counter. I mean, our first customer was my guildmate, Cicada. He came to the inn RPing as a mother with his daughter. And so he comes there and he just wanted an ale and I'm like, oh, they're upstairs. So I take him and the daughter, who I didn't know was the daughter at the time. I thought she was just a random lady. And I tried to sell them weed upstairs and they were like, what the heck? You're selling me weed in front of my daughter? She's only 13. And they slapped me and all this stuff happened. And I was just like, okay, fine. You didn't see anything. And I backed up all the way into the very corner backwards. And so then they left really abruptly after that. And so me and my brother, we were suspicious. We were like, okay, they're gonna go tell the guards. We have to find a way to get them murdered. Like, that's how you solve all your problems, right? I'm not the only one. So every single guard who came to the Kiel Harbor Inn, we were very charismatic. We gave them very low prices on their beers. And then we told them about the feral Cicada. And we totally lied. She wasn't a feral at all, but we were just telling them, oh yeah, she was vicious. She was so violent. I'm pretty sure she's a feral. And so we incited the entire Gilneas military to go after her just on our gossip, and it was too good. It was so great. One of the guards didn't know what he wanted to drink, and so he was like, surprise me. And Sam, he told me, well, the only logical thing to do is give him poison. I mean, duh. But then I thought, okay, if I was this guy, then I'd be so angry to be poisoned just for a cruel joke, so I gave him Pinot Noir instead. So after we sent the entire army after Cicada, the queen herself graced us with her presence, and she came to our inn, and she was alone. She had no escort, and so we sat her down, and me and Sam behind the screen, we were plotting to take the queen hostage and sell her for a ransom. And I mean, there was a gun right on the table. I could have done it in an instant, but she was really nice to us and my conscience just wouldn't allow me to do something to someone who was so nice. So yeah, she went free, but we were this close to holding the queen hostage. And so as the queen was just drinking her ale, I'm just upstairs mumbling all these chants and rituals, and I'm sure she was very creeped out and she left soon after, and we were like, okay, so that happened, whatever. We were nice enough to her that I don't think she'll turn us in. So then Cicada returned to the inn. She didn't know I had set her up and sent the whole military after her. She and her daughter were on the run, and So they came to us for refuge and they wanted to get a room at our inn, and we were like, oh yeah, of course. And so meanwhile I whispered all the guards to come and get her, and she had her daughter go to sleep upstairs. And so, oh, I'm so awful, I kept Sea Cata occupied. I was talking to her, making conversation, while my little brother, this little gnome, walks up the stairs, stares at the little girl, and then gets into bed with her. It was so awful. And then the girl, she wakes up and she's like, "Mommy!" And then she runs up there and almost murders my brother. But I was like, oh no, he was just grabbing the cannonballs for the special. And so we quickly hurried out of there, and thank goodness the guards came before any murder could happen. And so he came, and he totally thought she was a feral. He was like trying to arrest her, and she was being very violent, and so it was working with our pretense, and we were acting balls for the special. And so we quickly hurried out of there, and thank goodness the guards came before any murder could happen. And so he came, and he totally thought she was a feral. He was like trying to arrest her, and she was being very violent, and so it was working with our pretense, and we were acting, me and Sam, we were just in the corner acting terrified, like, oh my gosh, this feral lady, you have to kill her. And so she made a break for it, leaving her daughter, and so I became the daughter's new mother, since I'm literally Sea Cata's exact clone, so it worked out fine. And like any good mother, we let her have ale, we let her have weed, we did all the great things mothers should definitely not do. But then Sea Cat came back and re-kidnapped her from us, so I was a mother for a day. And then the guard eventually found out that we had lied to him, and that Sea Cata wasn't actually a feral, and we just wanted to get her murdered to hide our weed. And so he tries to kill my little brother, and so we were both forced to bring out our warlock powers, and we blasted him across the room and ran out of the inn. And then as we ran out, we were all like, we were warlocks the whole time, wah! And then we got into all of our like cult gear, and we got into our demon horses, and we rode away. It was so great. We rode away to the graveyard.